Hey everybody, I'm Jason Cannon, Chief Editor for CCJ, and my special guest today here is Jorge Medina. Jorge is Peterbilt's Marketing Director, and both of our special guests today is this beautiful Batmobile-esque Peterbilt Model 579. The unique thing about this truck, other than the fact that it is really cool, is that for the 2022 model year, Peterbilt played with the design and the technology features in this truck. So Jorge is going to tell us a little bit about how this model changed from generations prior.
Really, we took what we already consider a best-in-class product and enhanced it thoroughly with a focus on uptime, on technology, on driver comfort and efficiency. So really kind of found the ways to optimize this vehicle, which was already successful in the market, around those four pillars, right? So sort of starting from the front of the vehicle, you can tell that, first of all, it looks amazing, right? You can tell it still looks like a Peterbilt and it still looks like a 579, but thoroughly reimagined, reinvented, revamped. It's just really a great looking truck with a lot of distinctive characteristics, right? The new hood is 2.5 inches lower, is 8 inches narrower. It is also made out of Meton and it's a three-piece design. So all of that contributes to better aerodynamics, better performance. Looking at some of the styling and features, it has of course our iconic red oval. On top of the grille there, the stainless steel grille mesh that delivers resistance and longer durability. A brand new front end design that includes our brand new headlights, LED lamps in the bumper, and a brand new bumper as well. The great thing about this new bumper is, like as in the past, it is a three-piece design for good maintenance, for good serviceability. It also incorporates the radar screen behind it. It's fully incorporated into the design, so it's a very elegant and very functional. Our LED headlights up here are, again, industry-leading, excellent performance. They do have the signature Peterbilt styling, so at night on the road you can tell from a distance that this is a Peterbilt and it's just a really great looking truck. Excellent performance from these LED headlights. They also incorporate an infrared heater to make sure that the lenses stay clear in all kinds of weather conditions, so ice and snow and that kind of thing will melt away and keep the performance of the headlight. Going back to the bumper, the LED lamps in the bumper have three functions, and this is a Peterbilt exclusive and unique for the industry. First function is fog light, so for close range visibility. The second function is a driving light that will act along with the high beams on the headlight. And the third function is turning signal or steering, which will come on both sides when you're turning, when you activate the turn signal on either direction. You can see that it also has an air dam at the bottom that helps with the airflow, manages the airflow under the truck, but it also has good clearance so that when you go into service pits, you are able to drive the truck right over and get the service required without any kind of issues with that. As I said, you know, the hood and the bumper kind of work together here in the front. Coming over to the side, you can see this particular truck happens to be equipped with the Epic Max package, which includes these wheel well closeouts that are built of composite material that is highly resistant and really contributes also to aerodynamic performance. Coming over to the cab, there is a really cool, you can see there, our A-pillar fairing, which is a brand new on this version of the 579. And what it does is helps smooth out the noise, or I'm sorry, the wind around the side of the cab for enhanced aerodynamics as well as reducing the noise. This is our new design rear view mirror. We call this one the enhanced aero mirror. You can see that has a sculpted shape for, again, enhanced aerodynamic performance while maintaining the performance, right? So it's specifically designed so that a driver can still see the top back of a trailer when backing. This mirror is also installed directly on the cab, which helps with durability and minimizes any kind of maintenance required. This one doesn't have it right here, but it is available with the digital vision system, which utilizes cameras on both sides to provide enhanced visibility in all driving conditions, including night vision. So that would be kind of equipped here in the lower part of this mirror right here. Another great feature on this truck is our new design fairings, which as you can see, they also have the closeouts at the bottom for, again, aerodynamic performance. It's basically all of these features that I've been talking about work together to deliver that airflow around the vehicle, and ultimately when combined with the powertrain and the PACCAR powertrain on this vehicle, it can deliver up to a 7% enhancement or increase in fuel economy relative to the previous model. One of the coolest things about them is that they are tip out, and it's just a very simple design that opens like that and allows you access to the battery, fuel tanks, APUs, and other components. And so it's just a great way to, access components here, and very simple design, but very clever. Continuing on to the back of the truck. Again, this truck has the Aero or the Epic Max package, which also includes these covers on the wheels, as well as the tandem fairing. And again, all of it working together to deliver optimum aerodynamic and fuel economy for this truck and for our customers. One of the great enhancements that we've achieved with this new model 579 is the reduction in driver noise, which is 10%, which is huge for driver comfort. And we've achieved that through a few things, right? One is our air filter is now mounted on the engine, so we kind of bring that noise away from the firewall and away from the cab. The other one is acoustically tuned engine mounts, which kind of help, again, manage vibration and noise through the structure. And the last one is the hub-mounted fan that also kind of activates only when required, and so you minimize some of that noise from the engine fan as well. So all of those three things combined, plus the engine itself that also operates with lower noise relative to previous versions on the engine, help deliver that enhanced comfort for the driver. And as I mentioned, right, you can still recognize this truck as a Peterbilt. You can still recognize it as a Model 579. One of my favorite features when looking at this truck is the logo on top of the crown and the 3 bars on the hood, so those are very distinctive Peterbilt. But my favorite feature perhaps is our iconic bird that is on the hood of our heavy-duty models. And that design, it really kind of inspired our engineering and our design team to kind of replicate that throughout the truck to achieve, again, just kind of a very subtle homage to everything, all of the styling and the class of our brand. If you pay attention to kind of the shape of that bird, you can see that design actually replicated in the front, at the bottom of the bumper, behind, and the cover of the radar. You can see kind of that same wing, if you will, or bird design. It's actually also on the top of the hood. Again, another kind of subtle styling element on it. If you look at the air intake and the chrome bezel here, that actually highlights the side shape of the bird, also here in this part. And then one, perhaps the most subtle of them all, is on the back wall of the truck. You can actually also see it at the very top. And again, it's just a lot of small touches throughout the truck that homage or continue or carry on with that unique heritage in terms of the look and the feel of the Peterbilt truck.
Jorge, that was a lot of good information about the things that the general public gets to see on the outside. But let's talk some about the things that the driver has to feel, some of the technologies, what's going on in the interior. I know for the 2022 model year, there was a lot of rethinking. Maybe it was a little bit of reinventing some of the tech and some of the driver experience features of this truck. So talk us through a little bit about what's changed.
Here we are in the interior of the 579, and as I like to say, it's just a great place for a driver to be in. It's just very, very comfortable. Some of the features, the bigger buttons that are easier to see and easier to control, are cup holders. It's a new design fix that allows for large cups in there and also gives you a lot of clearance for knee room and for driver in general. And then also, of course, our smart steering wheel, which is used to control not only the phone and audio, but also everything related to the active safety technology and cruise controls. So as far as the digital dash goes, I can go click through some of kind of the basic features of it so you can see it. You can see this is sort of a basic sort of display mode where you have only the speedo and the tachograph, and then you kind of progressively see a little more information displayed on it, where we add other basic functions like air, oil, temperature, coolant, and gas and fuel level. So that's sort of a second level. And ultimately, you can go all the way to showing a lot of other information that traditionally would have been housed in things like round gauges in the dash or in other places. You can actually have them all here. And again, at a glance, easy to read, easy to see. As I mentioned before, also, if there was something that needed attention from the driver that was not being displayed on the dash, on the screen at that moment, the display will actually bring it up and show it and highlight it for the driver to see. So you can see here the great color combination with the dark uppers and the sterling gray color and the dark kick panels. Just a very nice looking interior, very comfortable for the driver, pleasing to the eye, but also very functional. You can also notice the new pattern on the wood trim and the doors, as well as in the dash. Grab handles for ease of access and safety. These are also available in high contrast yellow, so for some more safety critical applications as well. But again, just a great interior, a great place for the driver to work in. And of course, here is our ultra loft sleeper, right? Best in class, best in the industry, 80-inch sleeper with up to 70 cubic foot of storage. This version, as you can see, is our platinum trim level, which has just tons of storage space, the ability to install up to a 40-inch flat screen TV. You can also install up to a 1.1 cubic foot microwave, and you have enough space for 2 CPAP machines for when you have team drivers on the road. One of my favorite features about this version in particular is our bunk bed right here, which can be folded, as you see it right now, for additional storage space. When you need the bed, it's very easy to use. You just release that, and now that you have a bed and your mattress. And for access to this bed, you use our fold-away ladder, which is just a really clever design that gives you access to this level here. And it's just very clever. When you don't need it, it completely disappears back into the bed, and you can continue to use that space as a storage. So just a great place for a driver to relax, to rest in complete luxury, and really surrounded by high quality materials in just a very quiet and comfortable environment. So my favorite feature for sure of the truck.
All right, well, we've lost Jorge, but that's okay because I'm still here. It's 98 degrees out here and the HVAC is running, blowing super cold in there. So I'm gonna go hop in it. Let's go for about a 200-mile drive. Jorge had mentioned earlier that this is a 579 Epic, which comes with all the aero upfits. And one of the benefits of the upfit is how quiet it is in the cab. And the argument's going to be, well, they're all pretty quiet now. And they are. I mean, it's not very noisy in any modern tractor, but really the only wind noise that's coming right now is coming from the HVAC because we've got it jacked up because it's 100 degrees outside. And obviously you heard that as he drove by. But one of the benefits of the aero package is how clean the windscreen is. I mean, there's not hardly anything on the windshield. We get the added benefit of it being relatively quiet, and fuel efficiency of this truck right now, and we're well over 100 miles into this drive, is 10.5 miles per gallon. And I am by no means trying to turn this into a fuel economy exercise. I'm just driving this truck the way I would any other truck, and I've just sort of backed myself into some really excellent fuel economy here. One of the things I like most about this digital instrument cluster is that it's how well lit that it is. It's not too bright, it's not too dull, and really, if you're not thinking about it, if you just kind of glance down, you can't even really tell they're digital. They're just there. Now, obviously, you can tell the stuff off to the side's digital because it doesn't have that analog look to it. But where they're placed and how you can see it and how your eye sort of consumes it, because you've only got half a second to look. You've got to peek down, you've got to peek back up. It gives you a lot of information in a very short amount of time. At this point, it's kind of a cliche to say that these trucks have a very automotive feel, because I think that's become sort of common vernacular, is that all these big trucks, they drive like big cars. But I think it's accurate. I mean, you look at the technology that's in play now, the digital instrument cluster, the adaptive cruise, the lane departure, lane centering, it really is like a very sophisticated, high-level car, and it has on-road manners that mirror a car. It centers itself. It tells you when you have an unintended lane departure. That's all very here and now technology on the automotive side that has been around for several years, that now has filtered its way into the heavy-duty side that make driving safer. The old joke is it's steering wheel holders because the truck does all the work. Well, okay, it's one thing to know how to do it, and then it's another thing to actually have to do it. When the truck is willing to assume some of that responsibility and is really good at it, then there's really no reason to keep that manual there except for maybe a fail-safe or some level of redundancy. Let the technology do the heavy lifting, and you just kind of sit back and be the manager and make sure that the technology works as the way as it's designed. This truck's not going to drive itself. It still needs my input. But if I glance down to fidget with the radio, if I hit a button and I drift this way, there's nothing wrong with the system nudging me back in the road. That's a safety standard at this point. The new Model 579 is a top-notch next-generation tractor, and it does a good job of blending the things that are important to drivers, like power and comfort, with the things that are important to fleets, like fuel economy and technology. And if you add in the black and chrome package like the one I had, you've basically got the perfect blend of old and new school.